僕は15歳の時、自分の道を決めました。僕は夢を叶えるためにこの表を作りました。これが僕の目標でした。可動域、奥行きをイメージ、スピード、仲間を思いやる心、感謝。これが僕の目標です。あなたの目標は何ですか
Hello everybody, welcome back to Davey Plays. I am Davey, and pretty excited to get this one started for you guys. So, this is a little bit of an introduction video on what I plan on doing for this series. I guess it kind of needs an introduction. This is kind of new to this channel, so this will explain things out a little bit for you. This is definitely for sports fans or people that just genuinely like me, because it's just going to be pure baseball for this one, and just me as the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, as you can see, I've already made my way through the spring training. Mostly I was just testing out difficulty and how I was going to play the game, and what's the point of watching spring training anyway, especially when you're not too invested in the team quite yet. And I hope you will be invested in my team, by this point in time, when we're finished with this season, by this time next year in the season, not in real life, because what I'm going to be doing here, as the season goes along, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate 1 week and then play 1 game. So when I start an episode, it'll be after this week's simulated. So I'll do a recap of the previous week, going through, all the player stats, what they did for that week. So I'll be viewing the box scores and just go through all of it. Let's say it's Pools, for instance. This game he had 1 at bat, did nothing. He struck out. And that's how we'll go through it. Let's say Paul DeYoung, if we're doing this would be in the regular season, of course. He had 4 at-bats, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout. So he didn't do that great, but that's what I'll do. I'll just, all the important stuff, of course, though, mostly just like home runs, like how Edmund, he went 3 for 3 with a run, 2 RBIs. That's a great, great day for him. By the looks of it, this game wasn't particularly good for me. We lost 4-3, so, but that's all right. That's gonna be, the point of the series, and then you'll get to watch me play a game. Now, as for how I'm gonna be playing the game, they give you the option of doing a quick count, which every at-bat, whether you're pitching or hitting, as soon as you get into that at-bat, there will already be a count started. So it'll be like 2-1, or 1-2, or 3-2, or whatever. I find that that helps me get like a lot more walks, both on defense and offense. So that's one of the main reasons I did it, not to mention the fact that it makes the games go quicker, which is easier on both me and you, the viewer. But in terms of difficulty, we'll go ahead and take a look at that now. For hitting, I'm going to be doing, hit it batting and base running. I'm going to be doing All-Star. This is going to be the zone hitting. So basically, I'll have like a little zone within the strike zone, and I try to get that zone as close to where the ball ends up, and then swing, of course. Or, if it's out, then I'll try to take the pitch as best I can. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, I'm going to be doing that on All-Star. No guest pitch, definitely not. And as for pitching, it's going to be, I actually made this a little bit harder on myself because I'm going to be doing the pulse pitching, which, as you'll see when we play our first game, it basically does a pulse around where you want to throw it, and the closer you get to the pulse to the circle, the more accurate that pitch will be. I like that best of all. I tend to suck at all the other ways of doing it, but that's why I made the pitching difficulty Hall of Fame, because I feel like pulse pitching is a little bit easier than all the other styles for pitching, so that's why I bumped up the difficulty on that. As for the fielding, it's button accuracy. So basically, before your fielder gets to the ball, you hold the button where you want to throw him. Let's say it's second base, so you hold it would be Y for me, but whatever the second base button is, you hold that, and you have to get it into a little green bar, and then he'll throw it accurately to the base if you hit that green bar, and if you don't, then chances are it'll probably be an error. Gameplay style simulation, of course. I'm trying to make this, fairly close to realism. I get that it's not always going to be perfect, but, I'm going to try to do my best, especially when it comes to trades and different things like that. I'm not going to do anything too crazy out of the ordinary. There's coaching tasks, development tasks, and manager tasks. Now, as for the coaching tasks, I set that to manual. The development tasks I set to auto, and manager tasks I set to manual. In the development tasks, that's scouting. That's why I set it to auto, because I don't even know how to scout in this game, and I wouldn't even be 100% sure on what to scout. So I figure I'll leave that auto for now. If we start to get like multiple seasons into this series, then chances are I'm probably going to move it from auto to manual so I can start getting into that myself. But as it stands right now, I think it's best that I leave the development task to auto. I think it'll be better if the computer handles that for me, but everything else I have on manual control. Like I said, I already simmed the whole way through spring training. I did play like 2 or 3 games out of this just to get the difficulty down, and that's when I settled on the difficulties that we're using now. Looks like, as it stands, my team didn't do too bad for spring training. Ended up going 15-12. It's not too shabby. There is one thing that I did. When I was in free agency here, I saw that Trevor Rosenthal, the relief pitcher, was in free agents, and turns out that he actually is a free agent in real life, which is seriously a shame. I love Trevor Rosenthal. He was actually the closer for the Cardinals for a couple years. I forget what year it was. Maybe like, I don't know, somewhere around 2017, 2018 era. We'll check on that. Yep. 2012 to 2017, but in terms of when he was the closer, okay, 2014, 2015, he closed out a lot of games. See, he had a couple of great years this year. Wow. But yeah, anyway, I ended up signing him to a 1 year, let's see here, 1 year, $3.8 million contract. And then obviously put him right into the MLB. I mean, if there's one thing that the Cardinals themselves actually are really hurting for, it is definitely relieving pitching. As you can see here, they are definitely not in the best of place when it comes to that. Seems to be that they've got a lot of... Oh yeah, that's right. That's because this is a 40-man roster for spring training. A lot of these players that are like 56 are going back down, I imagine. I hope... I'm going to have to look into that. I'm going to need to definitely get Alex Reyes up. I mean, This dude's 36, but he's got to be in the majors if he's 36 years old and 69 overall. We're gonna need him. Our relief pitching is in a rough spot right now. The rest of the team is actually pretty solid. Giovanni Gallardos, great closer. I mean, at least in this game. We'll just go through the at least the starters for now. We've got Yachty, of course, our 39-year-old catcher, staple of the Cardinals. Never played for another team. And in terms of backup, it's going to be either Vaughn Herrera or Ali Sanchez or Andrew Kisner, maybe? I don't know exactly how you pronounce his name, but they're all basically in the running. Pretty much Vaughn Herrera is somebody that we definitely got to keep a close eye on. If he doesn't end up being straight up our starting catcher or our backup catcher, then at the very least I got to watch him in the minors, because he's definitely one to keep an eye on with B potential. You know, he's already 63 overall and he's only 21. I mean, with Yachty being 39 years old, we're definitely going to be looking for a replacement very soon. Now, moving on to first base, we've got Paul Goldschmidt and returning Albert Pujols, which is awesome to see. I grew up watching this man hit home runs at Busch Stadium. I really did. But yeah, this is a very solid first base area, although they are two older gentlemen, we'll say, for the position. Definitely, Pujols will probably be playing DH a lot. But, definitely a position to keep our eye on as well as relieving pitching. Let's see here. As for second base, Tommy Edman, great person to have playing second base. I mean, he's only 26 years old. He's already peaking almost 90 overall with B potential. Definitely solid to have him playing second. He's on his... I don't know if he goes into arbitration after this or what, but definitely got to watch his contract. Maybe re-sign him if we can. I don't know, though, because money definitely is tight, and we're the Cardinals. So, like I said, I'll try to keep it relatively realistic. But also the Cardinals are some seriously stingy bastards. So, we might not be playing to that level of realism. Okay, so we just looked at second base. We'll move over to third. Of course, we've got Nolan Arenado, definitely one of our star players. He's honestly, defensively, he's amazing. His hitting is pretty good, but he is 30 years old. So, although for the next few years, that's not an issue. At least the next 3 or so years, it's not an issue at all. But eventually, if we make it that far, definitely got to keep an eye on that too. But that's not something that's, quite pressing, because he is only 30, really. As for shortstop, we've got, Edmundo Sosa coming up. He's decent, not the greatest, especially being 26 years old, and Paul DeJong, he's also okay, but he's 28, so he's more of a backup. I think, he's really more of our infield backup. He can play shortstop, he can play first, he can play second, he can play third, so he'll be getting a lot of at-bats, but he's not really our starter, but he's definitely a solid utility man, so I can't really complain about that. And to be honest, 73 overall and to be able to play all those positions, I mean, really is priceless. Tyler O'Neill, obviously the true up-and-coming face of the Cardinals, I hope, Had an amazing year last year in real life. Definitely... hopefully going to make him a staple of our organization, that's for sure. And the backup, Corey Dickerson, I think, he can play all the positions in outfield, so he's pretty much our outfield backup. Once again, 73 overall, just like DeJong, so can't really complain about that. I'll, take a solid backup like that any day. Then there's the speedy Harrison Bader in center. Definitely another extremely solid player, incredible at defense, But like I said, he's a very fast individual. So as long as I can keep him on the team when his contract's up, he should definitely be another one that's, a staple of the organization. Looks like Joshua Baez is 18 years old and already 69 overall with B potential. I didn't even realize this guy was here, but he's definitely somebody to keep an eye on. I mean, he could really be somebody if, another year or two down the road, he could be amazing. Definitely got to keep my eye on him. I wonder if might be, I'll give him some at-bats down in single A, but he might be getting bumped up to double A if, he's already doing good in single A. Now, as for right field, we've got Dylan Carlson. Definitely another youngster, another up-and-comer. He's already 78 overall with A potential. Definitely someone I'm going to be keeping my eyes on for sure. He's already, shown some brilliance in terms of this spring training with he's hitting 253 average, 2 steals, 3 RBIs, and one home run and 1 run out of 79 at-bats. So that's pretty decent, especially being like a decent glove in right field. But on top of Dylan Carlson, we also have Lars Nootbaar, who he's been playing with the team for a couple of years now, I believe. Or at least 1 year, yeah. I remember watching a few games with him playing last year. I always like seeing him. He's definitely a cool-looking player, kind of an old-school kind of player, I feel like. But, yeah, he looks good, and he can play left and right, so I'll definitely keep him in mind for a backup at any given time. Let's see here. Let's go through the starting pitching real quick before we end out the video. We've got Jack Flaherty, which, he's pretty much our ace. I'd say that's like a combo between him and Wainwright. I think we're going to take Waino as our opening day starter, but, really Flaherty's the ace. Anyway, he's a, great pitcher, nice and young, 26 years old. Definitely someone that we hope to have around for a long time. Both these guys, I'm really hoping both of them will really eat up innings. Same thing with Miles Mikolas. He's a little older than Flaherty, but he's still very solid, very good inning eater. Steven Matz also, he's middle of the road, but definitely a guy that's bottom of the rotation, but a very solid guy to have. Same goes for Dakota Hudson, another guy, really great guy to have in the rotation. As for, these guys down here, Woodford and Waddell, they're both probably not going to be in the rotation, but they certainly have a chance of being in the majors. And our bullpen is long relievers, and everybody below that's definitely going to be down in the minor leagues. And back where we started, talking about the relief pitchers, just to round this all out. Jordan Hicks, solid guy. He's going to be a good setup man. Same thing with Trevor Rosenthal. I'm really hoping that he, fits into the setup real nicely. But if not, then he can at the very least be a middle innings guy. Genesis Cabrera, he's definitely going to have to be a middle innings guy. And down below that, maybe Reyes, he might be up, but I doubt that, Blake Parker will be. And as for closers, we've already mentioned him briefly, but we've got Giovanni here. I'm not even going to attempt his last name. In terms of overall, and, that combined with his fairly young age of 30, especially for a closer, he, very solid guy to have. I think that he can really, close out some games for us, get a bunch of saves, hopefully. I mean, if not, we do have Trevor Rosenthal, who's got some experience saving games. So, if we need someone to pick up the slack, either him or Hicks can be the guy that does that. But I'm really hoping Giovanni here does it for us. I think with that, I'm going to leave you guys there, and I'm out.